Yeah, I got the game all in my hand. Ooh, yeah.
Hello, and you are now tuned in to the only universe mode that matters. I am Christian.
And I'm Jesse.
And Jess, we are off of the heels on our Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and man, fun way to kick things off, Jesse. It came with some highs, came with some lows, but that's what happens when you climb a ladder now, isn't it?
Yeah, especially with the CPU legend difficulty being, looks like they're pros at unlocking the Money in the Bank.
I don't think I got a single notch off personally.
I got a few notches off in the women's. I didn't get one off in the men's. But yeah, the CPU and Money in the Bank ladder matches, spoiler, they're no joke, and they get the briefcases down pretty quickly.
They'll see the replay of Liv and her snagging it, so I haven't even seen it yet with my own eyes. But Jess, we're going to talk about the Money in the Bank show. It just happened literally 10 minutes ago. We just finished it. This is the post show. If you guys never seen a post show before, we pretty much just covered what happened. Maybe we sprinkle in some ideas of what can happen in the future. You guys might even get some exclusives, and your exclusive tonight will be a view of the power rankings that I will show from Raw and Jesse will show from SmackDown. But for right now, Jesse, let's get right into it. We kicked off Money in the Bank with an incredible money matchup is what we called it, and it was Brock Lesnar versus Gunther. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm glad this matchup happened. Brock Lesnar and Gunther was a great way to start off Money in the Bank, our first pay-per-view. And these guys were on separate brands last year. They're on separate brands again this year. Brock Lesnar and Gunther, they definitely delivered. Brock Lesnar, started off, I think he started off slow in this match, if I remember correctly. Gunther,
you got off to a good start.
Started off pretty hot. Obviously, the ring general, once again, looking good. He looked good at the end of the season last year, WrestleMania.
The entrances trolled us just a bit.
Yeah, I don't know why Ludwig didn't come out. Obviously, the trios entrances are a problem, and 2K has to fix those, hopefully. Because that does, bring in presentation with Gunther for sure, and Imperium, because they are a respected faction, and I will build them preferably and strong. But Gunther did sadly lose this matchup to Brock Lesnar. It could have went either way. Brock Lesnar, hits his F5s, hits his German suplexes, but I will take away that it took, I think, 4 F5s.
I want to say it was the fourth
Gunther
one.
away.
I mean,
that's a big statement.
We called Gunther last year when he was Walter, the king of the powerbomb. He showed that he still has a lot of powerbombs in him this season, but Brock Lesnar is very much so the king of the suplex, and he brought those with him today. He hit Gunther with over 10 suplexes, and listen, 10, 12 suplexes, 4 F5s. There's just some things that nobody can kick out of, and that might have been the point in the match where Gunther was at, and it was at a point where it was the next big move wins. It was like that with this match. It was like that with the next match that we'll talk about in just 1 second. But Brock Lesnar with a great victory to kick things off. My question for Brock that I gotta ask myself is, where do I take it from here? It's real easy to throw him against Sami Zayn next and say, hey, you deserve that. Honestly, I can say, hey, Xavier Woods, your first challenge is Brock Lesnar. But sometimes there is beauty in getting there. And I don't know where I take Brock next. I think I might want to have him on my next Raw. Definitely my next 2 Raws. And I think it's official, Jesse. I'm going to take the next pay-per-view. So I want to see Brock on the next pay-per-view. Okay. I want to see him have an opponent. We got to figure out who, and that's for us to figure out when we log off of this video, Jesse, but it might have to do with the Intercontinental scene, because we did see Sami Zayn defend that Intercontinental Championship against Kevin Owens, and this for me, I mean, the fans will vote their own, but this for me was match of the night. I think the story of the match was pretty awesome, and that was really the fact that Sami Zayn came out of the gate strong, came out of the gate crazy, and it looked like he was just going to take full advantage of this match, but KO strikes back, stuns me, literally.
Yes, multiple times.
It gets interesting.
Yeah, the thing I remember from this matchup was, I remember hitting you with a stunner and going for a pinfall, and you had resiliency. You kicked out, which was kind of a bummer, because if you would have used that resiliency, I literally called you right back up, hit you with the pickup or pop-up powerbomb, and then you use your resiliency. So it could have been different if roles were reversed, where you used the resiliency prior to his finish. But Kevin Owens, yes, he did start off very slow. It looked like Sami Zayn was going to squash the guy for sure. Kevin Owens couldn't reverse a thing in the ring, outside of the ring, and then once he hit that stunner, things started to connect, and Kevin Owens was getting his way with Sami Zayn, and it was a very hard fought match for sure. Haluva kicks were hit, blue thunder bombs. The matchup, as the matchup was going, was getting very, very competitive between these two. These guys are best friends. They've had rivalries in the past, NXT, Ring of Honor. They've feuded on the main roster, and they just know each other very well. And Sami Zayn hit that Haluva kick in the corner and defended his Intercontinental Championship for the very first time this season.
He hit a hell of a Haluva kicks. I'll tell you that much. He hit a few. KO fought his ass off.
Yeah,
not a bad loss for Kevin Owens.
No.
I look at him in very high regard after this one still. He also eliminated 4 people in his first match. So I actually might have to see where he ranks in the power rankings, because I might have to make sure he's top 10, because Kevin Owens is one of them guys. But good match, great result. Maybe not so much of a great result was the next match. We had the Women's Money in the Bank match. Originally, we were going to go 2 parts, but this match was so quick that we did 1 part of a pay-per-view, Jesse. And the match was featuring Raw superstars like Bayley, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley. And for SmackDown, I had
the EST, Bianca Belair, who was in this match, Raquel Gonzalez, or Rodriguez, and the Queen, Charlotte Flair. A lot of talent in this match. You have your stars like Bayley, Charlotte, Rhea, Bianca Belair. But the one to pull off the victory was, a former Money in the Bank briefcase holder in real life, was Liv Morgan.
Yeah, my memory of this match was we took out a lot of ladders, a lot of ladder spots, and Liv Morgan is the quickest Money in the Bank a snatcher. I don't know. She literally took 5 notches off in the matter of 5 seconds. It was unbelievable, and she got an unbelievable win. It's going to be interesting. She's going to be a wild card all season now because of that. I wonder how long it takes for her to cash in. And a little bit of history repeating in real life. Or real life repeating in the video game, because Ronda Rousey champion, Liv Morgan briefcase holder. Could we see something that we just saw in real life? Possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
But quick match. I'm glad the men's match didn't turn out like this,
yeah,
but
same. I'm not disappointed.
This most disappointing match for me tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe. I'm going to talk about the next one.
I'm not disappointed in the winner, because I look at all these ladies in this match as, you got 4 stars in there. You have a young star in Liv Morgan who won and who was a champion last season. And same thing with Raquel Rodriguez, who was a champion last season. So all these ladies will definitely be involved in the rest of the year in our universe mode. But definitely Liv Morgan, definitely a very, very big surprise with her snatching the briefcase once she got her opportunity, because she got it in seconds, and she will be, holding that briefcase until she cashes in, or not so successful.
Jess, and speaking of not so successful, Damage Control was not so successful in the women's tag team match tonight.
Well, even at all, because Bayley, she didn't walk away with the briefcase either. Damage Control.
Bad night for Damage Control.
Yeah, Damage Control, had, Bayley obviously qualified, Dakota Kai and Io Sky qualified, and they all walked away with nothing. Blackheart, the team of Blackheart, Lita, and Shotzi, they went against Toxic Attraction on SmackDown. They qualified. So this was a fun little matchup. You have Lita in there, a legend, young stars, and Dakota, Io, and Shotzi Blackheart. But Shotzi put Team Blackheart on its back and really just put the pedal to their foot all the way to the metal there, and really just took care of Damage Control and damaged them and took control of this whole matchup. And Lita did a good job on the outside, containing Dakota Kai, and Shotzi took home the women's tag team titles pretty much all by herself.
Yeah, she did. It felt like a handicap match. Lita didn't do much. Io Sky, unfortunately, just was in the match longer, which meant she got hit with Shotzi's finisher, got hit with Shotzi's signature, lost with the roll-up. If that was Dakota Kai getting rolled up, would we have seen them lose? Probably not. Caught me off guard, which is part of the surprise of a roll-up. I didn't even know what move she was even doing to begin with.
I thought I was
like the
an
possum
armbar.
pins in this game now. So definitely a learning curve for me. Hopefully a learning curve for Damage Control, Jesse. And I told you on Money in the Bank, and I'm going to repeat it right now, because you got to figure out whatever you're doing with Shotzi and Lita, because I'm hungry for another championship shot. I don't know if it'll be with Damage Control. I got to start building a tag team division, and we're going to get that going real soon. Maybe even I have a contender match. Depending on how long you take, I might have a contender match on my next pay-per-view. Who knows?
Yeah, I would love to see Lita and Shotzi go against Toxic Attraction again, because that was a very good women's tag team match. So I think Toxic Attraction getting the first title defense, or excuse me, Blackheart getting the first title defense against Toxic Attraction will be first for them. But I could look at another tag team possibly if I want to form one, or if I have another one maybe in my back pocket that I haven't shown yet. But definitely I would be interested in Toxic Attraction going against Blackheart again.
You know what?
And maybe both of these teams go at it again at a future pay-per-view.
Jess, this is why we do post shows, because it also gets my mind rolling at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge 2 teams for Monday Night Raw, the women's division. I don't think I got 2 more teams on my brand. I might have 1 more team on my brand. I need 2 teams. Whoever wins that one will get a #1 contenders match against Io Sky and Dakota Kai, Damage Control. And I want to see new teams form. I want to see them come together, and I want to see what they got for a team that's already established, a team that has done it before with Damage Control, because I want to do it again. And I want those championships on my brand, and I want that internet championship too, Jesse. I'm coming for bragging rights this year, and at this point in the show, I think I was 2-1, and you needed to win the rest of the matches. Most importantly, win the next match. And this was your match, so you tell me about this one.
Yeah, Randy Orton, obviously my first overall draft pick. John Cena going into this match was my WWE and United States champion. He already defended it against Carmelo Hayes in the very first SmackDown in the main event. And then he was defending his WWE championship off of Randy Orton's rematch clause from WrestleMania. He was the World Heavyweight Champion walking into WrestleMania. We ended up switching titles. Christian has the World Heavyweight on his roster now.
I had to let you get the spinners.
I have the WWE spinner and the United States spinner. Randy Orton was my first overall draft pick. He didn't lose the match at WrestleMania. Yes, he did technically, but he didn't get pinned. He didn't get submitted to end up losing the match. I remember Batista had a fall, Randy had a fall, Brock had a fall, and John Cena had 2. So he became the 17-time world champion. But Randy Orton and John Cena, they danced for probably the final time in Universe Mode, and probably of all time. Randy Orton, came down to the ring.
Do you think the final time? You don't think they'll cross paths again this season?
I don't think so. No, I definitely don't think so. Randy Orton and John Cena, I think the rivalry in Universe Mode and in real life is officially over.
So that means you're gonna keep Cena around the United States scene.
Oh, for sure. He's gonna defend the United States Championship probably either the next SmackDown.
He's your new Brock.
Yeah. I think just defending the United States Championship with the Open Challenge consistently. I did it with Brock Lesnar last year. Can I do that with John Cena? Can he have a similar run to Brock Lesnar? That would be very dope off of the season where he struggled until the end of the season last year with Cena. But Randy Orton, he got it done. He hit, obviously, John Cena with a few RKOs. John Cena fought out of it, resilient as he always is. Super Cena. Didn't look like Super Cena tonight, but Randy Orton is my new WWE champion, and for the 16th time, tying John Cena's old record and his mentor, one of Randy Orton's mentors, in Ric Flair. So Randy Orton as my head champion again. I don't know if everyone will like it, but with a storyline I have for Randy Orton this season, trust me, you're gonna like him being my main champion.
He came out of the gate really, really strong, John Cena, that is. He hit Randy Orton with a couple FUs out of the gate, and he also kind of did that with Carmelo Hayes. And it's gonna be interesting to see if John Cena, at this point in his career, at his age that he's at, can play the long ball of a wrestling match. And granted, he did in the Iron Man match that we had last season, which doesn't really count anymore. But, John Cena's another year in. Randy Orton himself is another year in. So we're going to see, as the year continues, who really has the attrition to survive this long universe mode that we have. But this was a fun match. To me, this was Randy Orton literally taking back what was his.
Yep.
And
something that he arguably didn't lose.
Literally, deja vu, Jesse. Are we going to see the same thing we saw out of Randy Orton this season?
You might.
It's a possibility.
The story I have with him, I feel like is more in depth this season. I'm gonna do something very special for Randy Orton this season, and I feel like I have a better story to tell with Randy being my WWE champion prior to in 2K20. But obviously, you're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, Jess, and let's get right to it. Let's talk about the main event of the evening, the Money in the Bank match of the evening, which ended up being far more superior than the women's Money in the Bank. This one had, I feel like, more moments, more spots. it was just given more time.
For sure.
And even the win was a better win. It was a better ending because I feel like we got to a point in the match where it was like whoever climbs it next and whoever like actually climbs it and reaches for it, they're gonna snag it. And AJ Styles was the final person to snag it, and he definitely did just that, Jesse. He won while you were stunned, I believe, or you were caught up in something, and I was rolled out. So nothing I can do, but I was Kofi and you were Eddie. It was a really good match. It was a really good match. Had some good moments. It really is quick to take down that briefcase.
It really is. I had some good moments with Eddie. Him, wrestling a guy like Santos Escobar, AJ Styles. Trust me, I'm gonna have Eddie Guerrero in some matches against those two respective.
I like your roster. I'm not gonna lie to you, Jesse.
Those
I
two
like your roster,
wrestlers.
and I like the possibility that you can do for
sure.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
So,
I also loved the idea of Seth and Eddie in the ring at the same time, but Seth is on Raw. Even Kofi Kingston and Eddie Guerrero. I feel like just those two they just get it.
I hit you with a bunch of
Kofi Kingston hit. I think
I was
Eddie
cooking
Guerrero,
with it. I really like Kofi Kingston. I liked his performance. You're talking about what's next for Eddie. What's next for Kofi is going to be interesting. I definitely want to feature him. The tag team scene, obviously, or my singles division. It's going to get good.
Yeah, with AJ Styles being the briefcase holder, obviously we tied the pay-per-view 2-2. I won 2 matches, Christian won 2 matches, and then CPU won the 2 matches, and probably the most important matches of this pay-per-view. And AJ Styles has his briefcase on SmackDown, and Liv has hers on Raw. So we just flipped the roles this year. I won the women's last year, and you won the men's last year.
It's crazy how it lines up like that, isn't it? AJ Styles as a Money in the Bank briefcase holder. What type of threat do you think that gives? Randy Orton,
with
somebody he's familiar with?
Yes, exactly. AJ Styles knows Randy Orton very well. We actually saw AJ Styles wrestle Randy Orton in real life at WrestleMania.
How long until we see a cash in too?
Especially with the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, a guy I feel like should have won a briefcase in real life in WWE, but he has it now. And what can he do with it? Obviously, he's going to go toward the top. And AJ Styles being, world champion again, with the career he's had, I feel like would be a great way to maybe end his story.
One more thing, because I do want to get to the power rankings, Jesse, but I do want to ask you, are we doing the same thing we did last season where we're keeping the cash-ins automatic, like it can happen at any time?
I think so, yeah.
Because that's what we saw last season on both cash-ins, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, Xavier.
Cesaro cash-in was random last year too.
The Xavier Woods and Cesaro thing.
I feel like that really did bring spontaneism to the story. And granted, they might pull the trigger a little too quick, or we might want to play the long game.
It could happen at the next SmackDown.
It really can. Yeah. If you have Randy Orton in action, what if AJ cashes in? So
it could change the whole dynamic.
That is still going to be a thing this year, guys. Where Jesse and I, we keep AI cash-in on, which means that any match you see a champion, it's potential to get chaotic. That's what happened last season, and it can happen this season.
Just have it in the back burner of, or the back pocket of AJ Styles or Liv Morgan possibly cashing in and becoming the new Raw Women's Champion or the new WWE Champion.
Jesse, and speaking of champions, you got to talk about the power rankings that we currently have, and it seems like I gotta fix something, Jesse. But let me show my Raw power rankings to start things off, and it is my king, my Universal Champion. My World Heavyweight Champion, Xavier Woods, number 1.
As he should be. He's the king.
I think I want to see him on my next show. I really do. I also want to see these boys on my next show. I think it's time for titles to be defended, Jesse. And the Usos, I think, are going to need some food to chow on because they're my 2 and they're my 3. Ronda Rousey, maybe I even give her a defense on my next show. I am going to be real with you. I can't wait to get the title off her hands. I'm not really looking forward to Ronda Rousey as my champion. So that's what kind of makes it fun because we have moments sometimes where we're not even satisfied with our own champion. So it does feel like even sometimes storylines where the superstars are unhappy with management, it can get like that with Ronda Rousey. I might be willing to mess with people's money. I'm not going to lie to you. Somebody's money I don't want to mess with. Sami Zayn, number 5. Somebody who has already proven this season it's not going to be like last year.
No.
Or the years before. Number 6, Brock Lesnar. He came out of the gate super, super strong. I cannot be mad at what I've seen out of Brock. And again, My next pay-per-view might be a doozy. I might have to make it crazy. Damian Priest, he is 1-0 this season. Looked good during the Money in the Bank match. Same thing with Bayley, both 1-0 superstars. Kofi Kingston 1-0, and Seth Rollins. You know, I gotta have you 10, but I'm actually gonna swap him right now. Where's Kevin Owens? Damn, he's low. Wherever Kevin Owens is.
He's really down
Yeah,
there.
no, I'm feeling Kevin Owens this season, Jesse. Damn, that's a bad drop for Seth Rollins.
Yeah. From 10 to 39, that's crazy.
We'll get him up. We'll get him up higher for a fact. But I'm gonna put Kevin Owens at 10. I'm gonna make that executive decision, and you know what? The battle for number 10 is gonna be on my next episode of Raw. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins is a matchup that we're gonna have, and I'm gonna have to see. Jess, but that is Raw's power rankings. How does SmackDown's power rankings look these days?
Okay. Randy Orton at number 1, as always.
Not a surprise.
Even dating back to 2K23, the guy was, I don't think, left number 1 besides having Brock Lesnar on my roster. Randy Orton at number 1, the new WWE champion, and for the 16th time, beating John Cena. And John Cena, right underneath him, he already has defended that United States Championship against Carmelo Hayes, and he will continue to do so over the season of Universe Mode. Cena does not have a rematch clause for that WWE Championship, so we get to see some new blood challenge against Randy Orton. It could be number 7, AJ Styles, but we'll get there. Number 3, Alexa Bliss won at WrestleMania, squashed Liv Morgan, who is now the briefcase holder on Monday Night Raw. So I feel like getting another championship opportunity for her is cool along the lines of being on Raw. But Alexa Bliss being my SmackDown Women's Championship at number 4 and 5, DIY. I have a lot of tag teams this season, a lot more than last year. So I have a lot of building to who could be the number 1 contenders to go against them on a SmackDown or
could it be Legado?
pay-per-view. It could be. If Santos defends that title 3 times, maybe he gives the opportunity to Legado del Fantasma. That would be very interesting, and we'll have to wait and see.
Are you down to have the Internet Championship defended on the next Raw? Are you ready for that?
I would have to look at my roster.
Did you already get a defense?
Decisions. Technically Santos was a challenger against Angelo, so
okay.
So then I'll have to have him probably defend against someone on SmackDown. I'll have to look at my options though. He might be on the next Raw. We have no clue. We're going to discuss that once we're done with the power rankings here in this video. But number 7 has the Money in the Bank briefcase. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. He could challenge Randy Orton at any given opportunity. Number 8 and 9, Team Blackheart, consisting of Shotzi and Lita. They beat Damage Control at Money in the Bank, as we discussed. And number 10, he did lose at Money in the Bank, but he had hell of a performance.
That's not a loser, Jesse.
Gunther at number 10, and that will be my top 10 as of right now to start the season.
Well, Jesse, we also start the season tying the pay-per-view 2-2, so no bragging rights thus far, just a bunch of poll results that you guys can continue to vote on. So keep on voting for these poll results. Let us know who you think have the better show, the matches of the week, etc., etc., etc. Jesse, thank you as always, man. We had another successful pay-per-view, and I'm going to sign off. You got anything, any teases, anything?
Raw will have the first exclusive pay-per-view. I don't think Christian knows what the name of it will be, but in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, just know that Raw will have exclusive rights to having the pay-per-view. There will be no SmackDown superstars or storylines involved. It will be exclusively Monday Night Raw.
Which means it's going to be great, if I must say. So guys, thank you for watching. As always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join that Discord to extend the conversation past the comment section.
Ring the bells, guys, and get our new updated videos, and we will see you on
the other side of the universe.
Peace.
Yeah, I got the game all in my hand, ooh, and yeah, pop out with the drip and make a fan drool. You could risk it if you want, this ain't no fan duel. Yeah, I'm in a Benz cool, yeah, stepping for the breeze.